On behalf of all of us at the Center for Careers and Internships, I wanted to welcome you to Middlebury. My name is Matt Kuchar, and at CCI, I run Midd2Midd, which is Middlebury's mentoring and networking platform. One of the greatest values you'll get from college, in addition to your academic learning, is the knowledge and experience inherent in our college's alumni network. And one of the best and easiest ways to get plugged into that network is through Midd2Midd. So in this presentation, we're going to take a look at what Midd2Midd is, how to use it, and how to get the most out of it. I wanted to start by inviting you to reflect on networking or on mentoring as filling the seats around a table and building your own cabinet of advisors. And I want you to picture the kind of people around that table who are advising you. Maybe inspired by recent events, you are looking for a change maker in leadership. Here at Middlebury, there are women and women of color who have, in some form in law and government, been working on parallel paths. Or maybe it's someone with a particular skill set. For example, the expertise and artistic vision to create maps for National Geographic. And incidentally, Allison got started on this path after taking one geography class at Middlebury that she found really inspiring. Or perhaps you'd like to have an award-winning author around your table, like author and .com veteran Lang Cook. Perhaps you're looking for someone with expertise in venture capital and a startup accelerator expert like Harui, who, like you, is a first-gen student. Or maybe you're looking for someone who, like you, is interested in student government and who went on from there to work in private industry and can advise you on a pretty grueling onboarding and interview process. If this is something that fires up a little part of your imagination, it's probably because you understand something that's been borne out by study after study. And that's the most valuable relationships that you'll have in your college career and in your life afterward are mentorships. Midd2Midd has formal mentoring programs, and it also supports one-off networking conversations. Now, these conversations can be extremely powerful for sparking your imagination, giving you advice about a career path or an interview process and life at and beyond Middlebury. Let's take a look at who's on Midd2Midd. Midd2Midd features almost 4,000 alumni volunteers who raised their hands and signed up to make themselves available to you for advice. It also has almost 300 Midd parents, and over 1,500 undergraduates are using Midd2Midd and availing themselves of the services on the platform. We are represented within 72 countries, 50 states, most of the US territories, and there is brisk activity on the platform. Users have exchanged over 15,000 messages, set up thousands of meetings, and hundreds of internships. In addition to this kind of geographic representation, they are coming from thousands of organizations across the globe, and all of them are willing to draw from their experience and share career advice and tips with you. That's also true of graduate schools, from the humanities and PhDs in the sciences, and professional schools in business, law, MFAs in the arts, and of course, medicine. On Midd2Midd, you can use filters to search by major, so you can explore majors to careers, not just careers. You can search by affinity, by location, and it's really flexible, so there are a lot of ways to do it. How do you get involved? It's really easy. Go to go/MiddConnect and click the Join the Community button. And from there, use the Middlebury SSO option to log on. Let's take a look at what we're going to find once we get inside. One of the first things you might want to do as you're getting started is check and edit your profile and keep it updated. You can do that by clicking the profile button up here in the corner. And you'll find that just as you can with LinkedIn or sites like Facebook, you'll end up editing with these little icons here so you can add your internships and keep things up to date. It's really easy to search through alumni profiles, As you're doing so, it's important to note that all of your search activity and even your profile is private on Midd2Midd. The only time an alum will see your profile is when you reach out to that person. You can start your searches here on MidConnect, and that's where you're probably going to be spending a lot of your time here on Midd2Midd. Let's take a look at a search example. And in this, I'm going to say that I'm someone who is interested in technology. And so as I look at my filters up here, I'm going to click more filters, and I want to take a look at that sector or industry cluster, and we'll choose technology. And I want to start by having someone in common with this person that I'm going to reach out to. So I'm going to select Feb. We'll let that run, and we can see that there are over 100 matches who fit those terms. And we'll just select the first one, Greg. We'll see that Greg is someone who has had a pretty prestigious career. He's now the Executive Vice President of Marketing at MasterCard. Might be pretty intimidating to reach out to, but as we scroll down and learn a little bit more about him, he has given some advice to us about what to do. And we also see that everyone starts somewhere. Greg's first experience out of Mid was being a ski bum before he went on and pursued his career. If we wanted to message that person, we would just click the green message button. We would compose our message here, even accessing some templates to give us some tips. And speaking of tips, the resource pages here have a lot of tip sheets, resource guides, and documents on questions to ask, ways to introduce yourself, and how to set up these interviews with alums. When you do send that message to Greg, it'll go right to his email. He can respond right from his email. It'll go right to your account. And you can look at it and correspond that way, or you can hop into your inbox in Midd2Midd where all of your messages are archived. This is also the place where you would go to schedule a meeting if you wanted to do it that way, or use the in-app video conferencing system. You don't have to do that, however, if you're more comfortable sharing your personal information and proceeding with a cell or with Zoom, that's perfectly fine as well. You'll note that within MidConnect, there are a lot of filters. I would encourage you to explore broadly and have fun with it. You could, for example, look at majors that you're considering, and you could see the kinds of alums and the kinds of orgs that people go to from that path. You can search across all profiles with a keyword search. And as you look through here, if you're looking for a particular company, you can do that this way. In addition to MidConnect, Midd2Midd also features mentoring programs. You'll gain access to one of those Mid mentors your sophomore year. Mid groups are affinity-based groups built around sports teams, orgs on campus, and more. You can join them to learn about alums who've gone and been involved before you and meet some of your fellow students here. A new feature that we have on Midd2Midd is this module, MidGigs. MidGigs are mini internships sponsored by our alumni and in some cases parents. They're often sort of structured so that you can fit them into your term and do them synchronously with your classes. Some of them are paid, some of them are unpaid, and you would just click each listing to learn more and apply through Midd2Midd. Doesn't hurt saying it twice that our resources tab is here. There's a lot packed in to help you get comfortable with networking as you're getting started. Great. And talking about networking a little bit, why network? It can be intimidating. For some of you, it might even feel as hard as, say, singing in public. So I think it's important to acknowledge that at the same time where it can be tough, there are so many advantages to gain from it in terms of advice and perspective, in terms of learning and skills development, and building relationships that are going to stay with you, not just for one conversation, but throughout your time at Middlebury and beyond. Finally, it's a great way to access opportunities that might not be in print over the course of your career. That might be the case up to 75% of the time, believe it or not. In addition to outcomes for you, there are also outcomes for the alums. All of our alumni are volunteers. They want to be on Midd2Midd. They know that you're students and they understand because they've been where you are now, and they're seeing Mid to Mid and the conversations that they hope to have with you as a way to pay it forward and share some of their experience. They're also passionate about their careers, and oftentimes they're also passionate about helping other mid students out and even hiring them into their orgs. It is important to say, however, that one thing you don't want to do on Mid to Mid or on other platforms like LinkedIn is cold call someone and ask for a job. It's often a turnoff that can close more doors than it opens. However, there are ways to do this. There are ways to integrate this and incorporate it into your conversation. And you can learn a little bit more about how to do so on that resource section that we looked at earlier. If you want to learn a little bit more about Mid to Mid, if you want to learn more about networking, it's easy to connect with a career advisor at Middlebury. You can use go/handshake to set up an appointment, or go/CCI to learn a little bit more about other programs and services that the Career Center offers here. In addition to our career advisors, we also have peer career advisors who hold quick question hours throughout the term. And lastly, if you want to learn more or get involved with Mid to Mid, that Go link is go/Midd2Midd for our website, or go/Mid Connect for the platform. Thank you. Welcome again. And we're looking forward to seeing you on Mid to Mid.